And we are back here for our second to last match of the evening. It is going to be a TvZ. We actually have nothing but TvZs from here on out, but this one is the big one. It is going to be between ByuN, the Terran player who has been undefeated in this group, up against RagnaroK, the Zerg player who has been undefeated in this group. And if you didn't tell me, if I didn't, which honestly is quite a bit of a surprise. I mean, we have two out of our two Zerg players in this group we've had. I would not have expected RagnaroK to be the one to go undefeated.
Yeah, it's that X factor, that Y factor, if you will, of RagnaroK really coming into play, coming into form. As you mentioned, this series is to determine who is number one and who is number two.
Indeed, it is. And here we are kicking it off on Royal Blood. We're in the top right-hand corner map, swatting all the way in the top right-hand corner. Doing what? I was going to say doing what you did. Yep, doing what? Wait. Nope, never mind. I saw SCVs moving, and I got excited. Anyway, get
excited, Poppy, get excited.
Here we go. We have a blue Terran player coming around for the land of Korea, representing Shopify Rebellion. He is ByuN.
Trust your intuition, Pop. Your intuition is spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have his opponent going for a 15-15, representing Mystery Gaming. It is RagnaroK. Getting proxy 3-axed.
Indeed, and unfortunately for RagnaroK, it seems like his intuition is not quite in position yet, as his Overlord is going across the map, but it will not be in the path to scout this proxy.
Yeah, fun fact, ByuN did this last night against Solar. Exact same location as well, on this very map. So a really interesting position. Typically you would proxy racks over here behind the rocks, or over on the right hand side, or even behind the minerals here in the center of the map. But yeah, ByuN, he does throw it down in a little bit of a more unusual position, in the almost in the direct middle of the map. Instead is going to avoid the path of the overlords, but RagnaroK should be keeping this second overlord outside his natural. He should be getting eyes on the SCVs as they come in.
Yeah, one SCV isn't too worrisome, but two SCVs, now you start sweating. Two SCVs and a Marine, now you know what's up. Bunker gets thrown down, and RagnaroK has to send some boys to deal with this.
Yeah, the boys are being pulled. The Spine Crawler is thrown down here on location. Good surround does force a cancel on the first bunker. Second bunker is on the way. As a reminder, this is a 3-rack, so very committed out of ByuN as Marines continue to come out across the map.
Yeah, the Lings are going to be doing a good job of chasing them back. If he can get surrounded, then it doesn't even matter if the bunker goes up or not. There won't be anything for ByuN to put into them, but great kiting coming out from ByuN. Will be able to keep the majority of his Marines alive. I don't think his bunker will be going up. No, it will not. And this gives RagnaroK a bit more breathing room.
Yeah, without the completion of this bunker, this Spine Crawler is going to finish. The Queens, they get brought over as well, and RagnaroK is holding. Meanwhile, he is going to be heavily supply blocked as the Overlord does go down, but RagnaroK should be safe here at his natural.
Indeed, he should, but will he be able to get a third base out is the question. ByuN now hoofing it back home. You know, he wants to be able to deal with this Link counterattack, and he has literally zero production back there, so yeah, he does need to send a couple of units back. Some Terran players do just like to keep their Marines outside the natural base of the Zerg player, even after the bunker gets thrown down, because, you know, containing them is better than nothing. But yeah, that's not going to be an option for ByuN here with this Zergling counterattack.
Yeah, exactly. As we're going to be seeing a big delay here on the CC on the low ground. Now the Marines, they do come back home, so they're going to be able to maintain control here of this base and get it up and running without too much issue. And at least RagnaroK confirms that ByuN is transitioning, that he is expanding, that he is backing off as well. As ByuN still hasn't lifted his Raxes, he's still pumping out nothing but Marines.
He's actually still pretty committed to this. This should be the last round of Marines that he throws out. There we go. Immediately lifts up his Raxes, floats them back home. We should be seeing more of a 3-1-1 coming out here from here on out.
Yeah, we should, as RagnaroK, he's just sending out a couple of spotter lings to get a read on what is going on. As you mentioned before, we still have a lot of Marines available here for ByuN. I don't think it's going to be enough to break this position, but it is enough to deny a third base. That's what he's looking for. He does come across the drone, does delay the third.
Like so. Again, just containing RagnaroK for as long as possible while he works on his own transition back home.
Exactly, we have that factory on the way, Rax's add-ons as well, and RagnaroK, yeah, is finally going to expand and take a third base, but a very delayed third here from RagnaroK. Just going to try and recover from this position, and from here, everything is going to just settle on down, and we're just going to macro on up.
Like so, ByuN even going for it. 3cc before Starport, but with a massive asterisk attached to that.
It's like technically true, but after all these racks, of course, as well. Regardless, very economic is kind of what you're getting at. Is ByuN, he clearly does want to get into the mid game.
That he does. And that he does. He knows that he's not going to be able to win with another dedicated push. At least not for the time being. He's going to need at least his mid-game tech for that to work out.
Yeah, exactly. You can see ByuN vying for map control. He's going to take down a tumor. Not too bad. He can't push onto creep, but again, he's kind of dancing here with the edge of creep. And once again, he's going to get some more tumors.
Like so, maybe even a queen. Yes, he gets a queen. He gets some tumors. Nice little pickoffs here, making these Marines worth it? Question mark.
Yeah.
I mean, he's putting them to work. He hasn't lost them yet, but yeah,
pretty
worth
good. Pretty good value here out of these Marines so far. Just, you know, I mean, especially with the delay on the third base, like it's pretty big. Oh,
exactly. Marines, every Marine out there, you're worth it. You know.
Yeah. Maybe it's
when you are built. Maybe.
What is it? It's L'Oreal, right? Because you're worth it. Is that L'Oreal?
I think it is. I've never heard those words in my life.
Huge
surround
Yaku
goes on top of these Marines. RagnaroK setting up for a pretty massive counterattack. The transition from ByuN has completed. So these Lings shouldn't get much damage done, but you know, at least he is able to keep ByuN honest. He is able to, you know, keep ByuN on his side of the map.
Hey, Papi, I've never been worth it, Papi. Never. Smooth, Papi. Smooth. Oh. It's okay, Yaku. It's okay. As at least do come in for another big surround on this Bio army. Not the most efficient trade, though. An odd choice by RagnaroK. Marines trading so much more efficiently. They're cleaning up the majority of those Lings.
Yeah, especially with these medevacs. You know, these Marines. They're enough.
They are. Behind this, RagnaroK keeps transitioning into roaches. We have +1 carapace on the way. Roach speed as well, and the roach army is being built up. At the same time, Lings go for a big counterattack, but alas, the wall is a wall of the Lings. They don't find too much damage at all, but they do delay the third for a little bit.
Yeah, and every little bit counts against a 3cc Terran player. Delaying SCV production, preventing them from throwing down any more mules. But that's about going to be the end of that contain here for ByuN, as yeah, players are transitioning. RagnaroK opting for roaches, which I would say is a pretty good choice here. I mean, he knows that ByuN's tank production was delayed, so there's a lot that these roaches can't get done.
Yeah, and here we go. We have a massive roach push across the map. How many tanks do we have? We have one tank on the high ground. We have another tank in production as well. ByuN is going for a push across the map, but Lings are here to meet up with them. We can see these Lings aren't going to trade too efficiently, but the roaches are pushing in.
Yeah, no tanks are sieged up just yet. One of them on the high ground, but only one. No high ground vision here for RagnaroK, so he's not going to be able to bile this down, but we can see a lot of SCVs getting taken out.
Yeah, we do see the high ground vision now provided. 20 workers go down, and it looks like RagnaroK is barely going to take down that last and final tank.
The bile. It comes in just when you don't expect it. That one roach is definitely a trooper. We have a couple more Ling reinforcements coming in. ByuN does come back. He does retreat with his Marines, though. I was about to say that these Lings shouldn't do too much, but there's actually a lot of... That's actually quite a bit more SCV kills.
Yeah, 24 in total. We deny mining here at the third base, and behind this, RagnaroK is rebuilding his roach army. I assume that if he wants to, he could try to drone from here, but you can actually see that ByuN has a better economy right now. He has an even worker count, but he still holds onto his third base. RagnaroK still needs to do more.
He really, really does. Especially against a 3cc Terran player like you were mentioning.
Yeah, exactly. And here we go. We're getting ready for the second wave. This time, ByuN is going to be a little bit more prepared, at least mentally, for the attack. He does still have one tank on the high ground, has plenty of Marines on the field. 1-1 is done for the Terran. RagnaroK even canceled +1 carapace. Interesting. We saw it being researched earlier, but did go for the cancel.
Well, he is dedicated to this push. He needs to make this work. He needs to at least take out a base, but even then, he'll also have to take out enough of the army to prevent a huge counterattack. Good biles on the tank, but now there are two, and it's not enough to really take him out.
Yeah, exactly. One tank is going to be going down, but we have another on the high ground. A lot of volleys are going off on the Roaches, and with that, I think ByuN can collapse on this army. The boys are being pulled. We stim on forward. We shut down the Ravagers, and RagnaroK is going to be losing everything.
GG is called, and ByuN will be taking game number 1 very decisively. It never really looked like he was out of control. And
Yeah,
by out of control, I mean, not in control. He got out of control towards the end there with his Marines, and that resulted in his win. But yeah, even after his initial proxy got deflected, he didn't seem too worried, let me put it that way.
Yeah, I was getting some RagnaroK versus Hero Marine vibes. If you remember that one game that Hero Marine was able to take was when RagnaroK tried to all-in him with Roach Queen and barely didn't do enough damage. Because it's a 3cc build, oh yeah, go for it.
And it was on the same map too.
Yeah. Was on the same map, and that's the hard thing here about going up against these 3cc openers, is that they're just so economic. There's so much pressure on the Zerg player to do even more damage if they're all in like that. Killing 20 to 30 workers is not enough. You have to break them then and there, and props to ByuN for being able to hold on the way that he did.
Indeed. Yeah, very much so. I mean, a lot of that I think does also go back to the fact that despite having his bunker canceled, despite being deflected, he was still maintaining a presence on the map, kind of keeping RagnaroK contained quite a while. RagnaroK could never really comfortably get a third base, and I guess that's partially also why he just decided to cut worker production at 45. He just figured, you know what, I'm not going to be able to get a third base up, I might as well just get army, I might as well just, reciprocate the damage, and really that was what ByuN was kind of counting on.
Oh yeah, that is what he was banking on, and with that, ByuN takes a lead in this series. But now we're getting into game number 2, going to be taking place on a much smaller map, very congested, very condensed. It is going to be on Neo Humanity.
Yeah. It's going to be loading on in here. Slowly but surely. I like this. Let's go, Raggy. As we load into Neo Humanity for game number 2, here we are now in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner. He is our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Korea, representing Shopify Rebellion and has gone completely undefeated in the group stage so far. And with how this series has gone, it looks like he's going to be able to maintain that. He is ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Zerg player going for a gas-first opener. Representing Mystery Gaming, it is RagnaroK.
Just for you, Jeff Bezos. It's Reggie? Yeah, going up against a double Rax proxy here from ByuN. He is very committed to this.
Yeah,
Triple Rax proxy even.
Yeah, it's going to be a proxy 3-Rax here from ByuN, so it's the same opener, the same build as the previous game, of course. We're going to be going Mass Marines. Really interesting location with that third Rax, though. I don't know if I like it. I think we may end up floating it over. Just because the rush distance is going to be so awkward for those Marines coming out. So really interesting placement by ByuN.
Those Marines need the exercise.
This gas first opener though is going to be really interesting. With this we can go into really fast link speed, but I don't know how well that's going to really help RagnaroK here in the defense. What's more important though is that it was a gas pool opener, so we have faster queens, faster lings. We should have a better defense as the Overlord does spot the proxy Raxes.
Yeah, sends the other does send the other Overlord into position. He is playing very, very carefully, so carefully that, like you mentioned, he's not opening up the typical defensive way of getting that earlier third hatch. He knows that as defensive as that location is, it's not quite gonna cut it. He does go for that earlier pool. Loses a couple of lings early on, which is unfortunate, but he's still able to get the queens. He's still able to get his spine crawler.
Yeah, very early spine crawler here from Ragnar. So this hatchery is going to finish. The spine is going to waddle down to the low ground, but the bunker will complete here. So ByuN is getting a really solid defensive position. The queen is going to go. Oh my god, the queen almost goes down.
Yeah, good sort of stepping from ByuN, but now the bunker is finished up. Second bunker on the way. That is a Baneling nest, which is an interesting choice. I feel like typically we see a Roach Warren coming out from Desert player.
Yeah, so Ragnarok, he wants to make use of the abundance of gas that he's going to be working with. He's banking up his lings. This hatchery is going to go down, but Ragnarok is going to Bane bust ByuN here as a response, just waiting for his upgrades, waiting for ling speed, and waiting for that Baneling nest.
I don't think I've really seen this too often as a response from Desert player to try to Bane bust the bunkers. Maybe it'll work out again. I do think that just corrosive vials are a much safer option, but
they are. They typically
overrated.
Are. True. As the spine tries to leapfrog forward, but the bunkers are within range. I've seen Miyamaka do this. I've seen Miyamaka go for the Bane nest defense. And, you know, maybe arguably Ragnarok is a little bit similar to that. And here we get the Banelings are rolling on in. They do connect, and they will take down both bunkers. Oh.
But we already have another bunker on the way. All of the lings have been taken out, and all the Banelings too. The Spine Crawler surprisingly holds strong for a while, but it does get taken out in the end, and there's nothing holding ByuN back now. That was a huge risk for RagnaroK, and it didn't quite pay off.
Yeah, as we saw, he just barely didn't have enough Banelings to trade efficiently there to break the contain, and now ByuN's in a leading position. He's in a commanding position right now. He's looking to expand back at home, looking to transition, and RagnaroK has nothing. As you mentioned before, there's no Roach Warren, there's no Roach Tech, there's no second Gas Geyser, there's no Lair, and GG gets called. ByuN takes the series 2-0.
Just about securing it here. We knew that these two players were confirmed out of this group, but now we have double confirmed it. ByuN at number 1, RagnaroK at number 2.
There it is. So both players will still make it out, of course, but, you know, we have at least confirmed who does make it out in that first spot. Meanwhile, we're going to be going on a break. We're almost done here with the night. We have one series left. It's going to be another TvZ between Solar and Spirit.
One left, and what a better... Really, there was no better series to conclude it with. We'll see you then.